Hello, and thank you for being with me again. Today I wanted to talk about the very real need for you to share your spirituality with those that you have contact with. The need for this is there because we cannot be fully happy in our lives knowing that people around us are unhappy. As we develop our spirituality, it's very easy that we can feel, well, I'm working on myself and that's good enough, but it isn't really. You see, especially if I try to build my own happiness on the unhappiness of others, that can never succeed. And so their happiness and their well-being is important to us. And this we find that as our spirituality deepens, so our empathy and sympathy for others is enhanced. And you can find that you feel things way more deeply for other people, even people that you don't know. Knowing what they're going through can touch you deeply. And this is because a spiritual heart is way more open and way more caring about everyone else. And that's just a natural part of our spiritual development. We were developed to be social animals, to be people who shared our lives with other people and so on. And if we have developed spiritually, it's a very great gift that we can bring to others to show them that there is a better way to live, that things can be a lot better than we normally see around us. This truth comes across, especially we can see when people are very disappointed with the world as it is. And the problem very often arises there that they blame God for how things are. For example, one quite often hears today, I can't believe in a God who allows suffering. Now that's quite an interesting statement, because the people are attributing to God the evil that there is in the world which causes suffering. Now, of course, if they stop to listen to what God's word tells us to do in life, they'll find that it is telling you to do the exact opposite of what is being done when these hurts are caused. However, they're not always ready to look at those scriptures and not always ready to look at that teaching and to take it to heart. What we have to realize is that when the suffering does arise, it's because of someone trying to gain their own peace of mind or their own happiness at the expense of someone else. And this is, as I say, where we cannot build our happiness on someone else's unhappiness. You see, God allows evil in the world because he allows you free will. When people say, I don't believe in a God who allows suffering, what they're saying is that they don't believe in a God who would create us with free will, who would really create us with free will. However, to learn what we have to learn for ourselves, we have to be completely free to choose whether to live the way he has told us is the right way to live or not. And if we're not prepared to live that way, well, then we can't be surprised when there is suffering, when things don't go very well. We've been told they won't go very well if we live any other way. And so claiming that it's kind of God's fault that things are as they are in the world is a very strange sort of view to take of things when we know how it really works. You see, you're called to bring this spiritual way of living, this way of loving one another, to those you come into contact with for a very good reason. The fact of the matter is that nobody in this world has exactly the same relationship with those you come into contact with as you have. We all relate to people differently, and we're all able to reach different people at different levels. And that's not a shortcoming on our part. That's a fact of being human, being who we are. And so what the reality is that if you don't reach out to those people that you can reach, then they will miss out. They will be less happy, and so your happiness will be less. We are really here to try to make the world a better place. And we can only do so by each of us taking seriously the call to bring spirituality to others, to show people by our example more than by our words that living according to the scriptures, living the way God has told us is the right way to live, is what brings true happiness in life. And so you, as a person who is interested in increasing your spirituality, becoming a more spiritually aware person, have this task of helping those less fortunate than you, less fortunate because they're perhaps not on that spiritual path yet, or they are way back on the spiritual path compared to where you have got to. And so really these people need you to look at them, to love them, and to reach out to them. And so my invitation to you today is to remember always when dealing with other people to apply your spiritual principles. As I say, not so much in words as in how and what you do, how you show them your love for them, irrespective of what the situation is. And then we can see that really this free will that God has given us is a huge gift that allows us to reach people in a way that we would never be able to if we didn't have this free will. And God is prepared to allow us to have that free will to the extent that you think of Jesus, who not only was condemned to death unfairly, but was insulted, crowned with thorns, and treated badly by soldiers who didn't really have anything to do with it. They weren't Jews, and so the whole situation of wanting to put him to death had nothing really to do with any of their beliefs or anything like that. And yet he didn't turn against them. He prayed for them and loved them anyway. And that is our aim in life, is to become people who would love anyway. And may we all reach that goal. May God bless you.